Test. Okay. Let's get my camera going. There we go. Hello. Oh, excuse me. Hello, friends, beautiful people. Yeah, we're just a few minutes before the election polling stations close, etc., and then they can start counting the ballots. So we are live here on YouTube. Join our conversation in the comments. I'd appreciate that, and take part of our poll. Our poll says, barring the unforeseen, the Conservatives are likely to win tonight. And who do you think is going to make up the official opposition? Right now it's in the P, but polls are close. The image I had in my thumbnail was not the most accurate and up-to-date polls because as of most recently, I think NDP and the Liberals were virtually dead heat, a tie for percentage of vote. So, but you never know how that works out. The Liberals seem to do well, very well, when they get, over a certain amount, they get a lot of seats. You just got to look back at the federal election. Well, the last two federal elections. But Trudeau was pretty well outvoted by Aaron O'Toole by a couple of percentage points. And yet Trudeau still made up the government. And then before that, when it was Andrew Scheer versus Trudeau, again, Andrew Scheer had a few more votes, but Trudeau and the Liberals made up a majority government. So it's not always how many votes you get, it's where you get them. So that could play a part in who is the official opposition here in Ontario. In my riding of Waterloo, we have a 2 or 3 time incumbent, Catherine Fife, and she's with the NDP. She's been pretty safe the last few elections, but riding polling is always a bit more iffy than cross Ontario polling. But my riding of Waterloo is thought to be more of a toss-up between the incumbent Catherine Fife, NDP, and the people who currently make up the government, the Progressive Conservatives. I don't even know the candidate. Honestly, I don't know the candidate's name for any people in my riding except for Catherine Fife, and that includes the person I voted for. Yeah, I don't even know their name. So, what does that tell you? It tells you we need election reform. When we're voting for parties instead of people, that's a problem. We should be able to vote for both. I think we should be able to vote for which party we want to form government, and then I think we should be able to vote for which member of provincial parliament we want to represent us in our particular riding. So please do comment. share your thoughts, talk about your riding, tell me who you think is going to win the election. I'm pretty sure it's the conservatives, but we'll see. Let me know and take part in the vote. Who do you think will be the official opposition? Um, Tell me your other thoughts. Who is the last person you want to see there? And tell me, is it time for bigger change and more electoral reforms? Like I mentioned, is there something else? Is there another party out in the kind of in the weeds and the bushes that you're in favor of? Are you a true blue conservative, or are you a Ontario Party supporter? Do you support the Greens? They're not exactly small and fringe anymore. Um, can they win? Very unlikely. Can they win 2 seats? I think they might win 2 seats. Um, are you a communist? That's a legitimate question nowadays. 20 years ago, communism was a bad word, but um, capitalism, which I do like, um, has not. It's not that it hasn't worked. It's that governments have interfered with capitalism, making it crony capitalism, meaning governments taking kickbacks and stuff like that. That's not true capitalism. That can happen under any type of economical system. That can happen under communism. That can happen under capitalism. So what I think we have right now is not real capitalism. So I think people are disillusioned with capitalism. So they're saying, hey, I'm going to vote NDP. I'm going to vote Green. I'm going to vote Communist Party, And quite frankly, I don't blame people. I don't agree with them necessarily on, voting communism, but I don't blame people. Oh, I attended it a bit early tonight. Hello, Kamal. I am live streaming, just so you know. But there's lots of stuff going on. I'm just talking about the election, not having a conversation, so I can pretty much pause and stop talking whenever I want and just post CBC. You can say whatever you want. Yeah, I'm live now. I'm going to post my share the screen. There we go. Brother. That sucks. So those are the pizzas. I think they need a bit more cheese. So when I was looking at them being made, I was looking from a side angle. It looked looked like a good amount, and then I got pictures. No, it's not. Yeah, it's already shredded in a bag, so we can add them. So I looked on top, and I'm like, no, it's not enough. So one of them has ham, that's for me, and the other one has a halal doner. So I tried it. Yeah, yeah, and the one closest to you is ham, and then so I was going to try the halal doner, but I tried the piece. It was a bit too chewy for me. That doesn't mean it's chewy. It just means too chewy for me. So I actually have a close to a kilogram of that stuff frozen. If you'd like it, you can have it because I'm not going to be able to chew it. Sounds good. So polls close in about 5 minutes. This is the CBC coverage you're seeing there right now. Oh, I'm going to make it more of a full screen. You guys don't need to see what's on the side. It's in a yellow bag. Yeah, no name mozzarella. Guys, I'm going to have the video from CBC, but I don't think I'm going to do the audio too much. I don't want to get in trouble for copyright. Technically, I shouldn't because this is commentary on their commentary and commentary on the election. It's not their coverage I'm, just repeating. So, yeah. And then I only have one metal tray for pizza right now. So mine's on a metal tray and yours is just on cardboard for now. But if you do it in the pizza or the toaster oven, you set it to like pizza, like 475, something pretty high. It'll only take like 10, 12 minutes. Just do what you think is a good amount. I just couldn't see it very well when I was doing it.
7, 8 years ago, I did used to work in a pizza shop.
Oh, nice.
I worked in many places.
Cool. Come on, you could have told me, like, Josh, I haven't voted yet. Can I come half an hour late? And I would have said yes.
I wanted to vote after I was done at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And there was an interpreter session that I had to attend.
Oh, okay.
So that, and then I had to take a shower, and then time was after I had to.
Yeah.
There's literally no time.
I know, but the polls are still open. They're open till 9. I would have let you come late. Because I think it's important. So I don't know how long it will take. So I would set a timer for like, I don't know, 12 minutes, but I would keep your eye on it throughout. And I think you should preheat it. So guys, I'm gonna vote in my own poll. I'm gonna say that the liberals are gonna take over as the official opposition. No, I can't vote in my own poll. But we do have somebody that did vote. And so that's cool. And I do hope you feel free to comment and whatnot. But yes, we have one vote for the liberals as they will make up the opposition. And I agree with that person. So, yeah. So there's 124 seats. Obviously, you need 62 or 63 for a majority government. It is believed the conservatives will have that majority government, but who the official opposition is, we don't know. Could it be a minority government? Will Ford have to work hand in hand with the liberals? I don't think that would be too much of a problem for Ford because I don't think the liberals are actually liberal anymore. What? Or the NDP, which, who knows? So, yeah, please do take part in the vote. Do comment. Well, I got nobody watching right now, but that's okay. I'll keep talking like they are.
Who's ahead now? Who's ahead?
So in the polls, it's the conservatives by a fairly wide margin. They're expected to win tonight. They're probably expected to have the majority government, but we'll see. Anything can happen, right? So we'll start getting election results pretty soon, actually. they'll start getting ballots and polls from polling stations all across Ontario. Um, they might know or not know, but have a really good educated guess on who's going to win within an hour or so, especially if there's, enough of a sample from across the province that the Conservatives are leading. But I don't think we'll know until quite later tonight who technically the opposition would be. Now, if the Conservatives win, the truth is everybody will be the opposition, because essentially we have three parties that are kind of left in the Liberals, the NDP, and the Green, and we have one party that's more on the right, more conservative, and that's the Conservatives. So pretty much everybody, except for really small parties, like there's a new party called True Blue, there's a new party called Ontario Party. They are not expected even to get like 3%. They won't win a single seat. Uh, they're a bit more further right. I'm not going to call them far right. I'm not going to insult them or disparage them. I don't know much about them, but they're further right than the regular Conservatives. Like they would have, both of the parties would have not had they wouldn't have had lockdowns and things like that. So, and they would probably cut from certain social programs if they could, but they won't get in. It'll beat once it's preheated, or at least it should. I'm going to get some audio just so I can hear what's going on. Can I not adjust it? I think I have to stop and re-show.
Tonight, and we'll see whether or not Stephen Del Duca speaks to the media. The indication from his team is that he is not planning on doing that this evening, right?
Thank you for that, Travis. We will check back with you a little later. Let's go to Lorenda Redicott. Now, before we do that, look at the bottom of your screen. We're starting to count the votes as they come in. And at the screen, you will see the votes will be reflected where
we got some votes.
Members are either leading or elected in that riding. Lorenda Redicott is in Hamilton with Andrea Horvath. She has been running third in these polls. Lorenda, how's the party feeling out in Hamilton tonight?
Well, we're seeing the numbers.
So we're already getting
different numbers.
Some results. So the NDP are leading in 2 seats.
Supporters who are here tonight, but I want to say
I guess that's all they have
4 years ago.
So far, out of 124, they have the NDP leading in 2.
Then as
but
well, and also
that's such a small
COVID-19
sample. It doesn't mean anything.
into this, and could supporters be actually watching results at home versus here tonight? We know that Andrea Horvath, the NDP leader, she's watching in a hotel nearby. I can't imagine what this night is like for her and what this entire day has been like for her, because there have been so many questions. This is her
kind of sipping my Pepsi.
As party leader.
I don't think you'll be seeing
remain as
maybe just your hand
after this. And will the party remain as the official opposition tonight? So lots of questions here. It could be a nervous crowd here tonight, White.
Thank you for that, Lorenda. We will see you later also as we wait for a moment.
Would you actually top that up?
The PCs just would have
with
thrown
another
more
one
than
for
polling
me.
times at 27 polling stations.
Yeah, I know. I don't
been
normally have
delayed,
two,
some
but
by as many as
it's
2
just good
hours.
to
So
have
that
with
means we will
pizza.
have a delay in the results.
And help
this
yourself to
affects
whatever in
online
the fridge.
writings. Let's go to Eric now with some of the first results. Eric.
Starting to get some results on my map. These are little specks of color, but so let's look at Sudbury. That is one of the ridings that are starting to report now. Jamie West is leading by 2 votes.
Okay, so we got 5 seats reporting,
Ontario, Sudbury,
or 5 ridings, and the NDP are
let's take a
leading in
look
3,
at
and the
tonight's
Conservatives
riding,
in
where we're
2.
starting to get some
But
results.
like, look at
Now,
this. We're
Raymond
talking
has a
like
lead of 1 vote. 1 vote is
1 vote.
He's trying to stop
that's
there, but it's not going to.
that's
Let's move on to
hilarious.
the next
He's
riding.
leading with
This is going to be
1
Ottawa
vote.
Centre. Ottawa Centre, Joel Harden has a lead of 42 votes over Katie Gibbs of the Liberals. Still very early, only 1 of 120 polls reporting. And in Nepean, in Ottawa as well, Lisa MacLeod, cabinet minister there.
So
has a lead
water
of
in
24
my
votes over
riding,
Tyler Watt. That is a very early
Waterloo.
on in the county. Jerry Pribyl in London North Centre.
The
Now, this is a riding
incumbent
withheld by
is
NDP. Terrence
NDP
Fernandez
has been
is
for a
there, but again,
couple
still
of
very early
turns
on.
now,
We'll take
but
a look at the map. As I say,
it's
just little specks of
reported to
color.
be
These are gonna
closer
start
than
filling
it
in pretty soon.
has been in the
It'll be a
past,
beautiful
and
map in
the
no time for you there, Eric.
Conservatives
Lots of
could
colors
win
with some
in
blue and some
Waterloo
orange
as
and some
well,
red and
which would
maybe a little
help
more
them
green
out.
for
Of
you.
course,
Let's head
if
out
you
to
pick
Green
up
headquarters. Chris Glover
a
is
seat
out
you
as
didn't
well.
have,
Chris.
that always helps.
Hey, Dwight, well, I heard Lorenda and Travis talking about how there were only a couple of people at
I
their
voted for
parties
Green.
tonight, but already here in Guelph,
I'll
as
tell you
walk
why I
into the
voted for
room, it is
Green.
filling up. There's a lot of
I
energy,
don't
a
think
lot
they
of
could
excitement.
win.
They made history in
I don't
2018,
even
sending Mike
really.
Schreiner, the first ever Green MPP, to the legislature,
I don't
and
think
they're hoping to
even
make
if they
history
did
again,
win, they could
this time sending
really
2,
perform
possibly 3.
as a
That's what they're
government.
hoping for. It'll
But
be a tough fight if they're able to do either of those things, and it
they,
would certainly
yeah,
be
it depends
historic
what.
as well. And as I was
Maybe they're
mentioning, a lot of people
MPs.
have
I don't
excitedly
know.
come to
I
this
don't know enough
party
about
tonight,
their
including
MPPs.
13-year-old Allie.
But
Why was it so important for you to come here tonight?
Well,
they
I'm really interested
they
in
promised to
engaging
double
the climate
ODSP,
change movement,
double it.
and
So
one
the
reason I'm really
Liberals
interested is
and
because
the
a few years
NDP
back I had
said
an
they'd
incident
increase it
that really got me
by
involved in this
20%.
type of stuff.
Right,
The
and so I was
PCs are
just
going to
saying
leave
to
it
the
the way it
audience
is,
that right now the Greens
which
heading into
is
this thing have
nothing,
1
like
seat
no
in the
increase,
Ontario legislature. They're hoping for a second. What do you
like
think
2 or
that would
3.
mean for the
Yeah,
Green
yeah.
Party?
That would mean a lot more
PC
input
stopped
into
that.
the vote,
Yeah,
into
terrible.
the decisions
But
made up there.
maybe
Okay,
it
and
is
that's
preheated
exactly what
already.
Mike
I don't
Schreiner has
know.
been saying
It
as
should.
well. You heard as soon as Ali
Okay.
went on TV there, the crowd went
Yeah,
crazy
go for it.
him. They are excited already, Dwight, and they're certainly going to be looking very closely at what happens in Guelph. And I was mentioning earlier, Perry Sound, Muskoka. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
You should let Ali know, though, Chris, that the Greens are on
So
the board.
Mike
1
Schreiner
seat
is
up there, so they
leading.
are leading
You
or
saw
let's
that
say
in Guelph,
leading.
where
I wouldn't
he's
say leading because
the
we're still
party
counting
leader.
votes,
They
so
really
but the
believe
Greens are on the board. Let them know. He'll
they're
be
going to
happy
win
hear
that seat
Thank you,
again,
Chris.
of
I'll let him
course.
know. Thanks, Dwight.
And there's,
All right,
I
let's head
don't
out
know
to the
where
Windsor Region
the other
to check
seat
in on how
is. They
things
think
are
they
going
can
out
pick
there.
up,
Katarina
but they
Georgieva
think
is in
they can get
Essex.
2
Katarina.
seats. So good for them.
Hi there, Dwight. Yeah, certainly.
So
Again, the
Kamal,
anticipation here is
just
really people
to
are checking their
remind
phone,
you, my
waiting
pizza
for
does
results.
have
So watching
ham on
CBC,
it,
so they're
so which
reacting
is
as
pork.
well.
So
This is
you can
an
cut it
NDP
into
stronghold here in the
small
Essex
pieces,
riding.
and then
Jenny
I don't
Lombardi is
mind
the PC
if you
candidate
use a
who's
glove
hoping
to
flip
help
this
me.
seat from NDP
Thank
to
you.
PC. PCs have really been campaigning and pushing to win over Windsor Essex. Now, at the provincial level, this hasn't been done in a very long time. This particular riding, it's been NDP really since this.
What do we got on our votes? We still got just 1 vote. So guys, if you're watching, do vote, do chat with us.
4 years ago, where
You know,
region was
this
largely
is
ignored. There were also certain decisions made 4 years
this
ago
is
by the PCs,
live,
like
and
removing electrical vehicle
well,
rebates,
people watch it
at
live,
that
but
time. That
after the
so this
fact,
gets
who
the
knows? We'll see what
This is very
happens.
much an auto industry region. Very different this time around. Doug Ford, again, like I said before, attaching himself to those major announcements.
So look at that. The PC are leading big time, like for the amount of seats. But again, that is about only 20% of the seats. Oh, look at that. Waterloo, Captain Fight is ahead,
Thank you for that,
but only
Katarina,
by
out
about
in
10
Essex
votes.
tonight as the results
So
start to roll
my
in. You can see
riding,
21,
which has
5,
been
2, and
NDP,
1, leading or elected. Let's check in with
could be up
Eric
for
on the site.
grabs.
Eric.
Yeah, we're going to start looking
or
at
the
some more
NDP
of the
might
results that
keep
we're getting
it,
in. You
and
can see
they
my map is starting to
might
get a
keep their
little bit
official
more color. Let's
opposition.
start with Guelph, where Mike Schreiner is, of course, hoping to get reelected. He won by a big margin in 2018. You can see he's currently ahead by 550.
He's got a
votes
big
over
margin
Peter
again
I don't think there's any
over
doubt
the
that he's going to win
Conservatives.
that riding tonight, but we'll wait until more results are counted. Scarborough Agincourt, this is a riding that the PCs were able to win last time, and Aris Babikian has a lead of 286 votes right now over Sue
But
Long.
come on, guys, how
Look at the
come
next result
CBC should be
Ajax.
showing
This is
who
a
the
riding. This used to be Rob
incumbent
Phillips' riding,
is? This
and
is
he's now
not.
running again. He resigned earlier this year.
Oh,
Patrice
this is
Bonny
not good
is now leading by
coverage.
42 votes over
Guys, come on,
but still early
CBC.
on, still 2 of
Get your
41
poo together.
Granton North. Here we have Graham McGregor is leading
You
by
should be
7
showing
votes
who the
over Hilda
incumbent
Malley
is.
of the Liberals. She was a former NPP.
We don't know who the
Sandy King is
incumbent.
the NDP candidate. He defeated Kevin
The
Young in the
NDP. What's the
nomination contest. He would have
NDP?
been
The
NDP
new
candidate.
oh,
So
the
the
new
next
Blue
riding,
Party.
Don Valley East,
Okay.
just very few votes counted. Bill
CNS.
Shamji is leading
Oh,
by
the
56
CNS.
for Sam Moyney, and
They're getting
we're going to look
communist
at the
votes.
next results that are still
The
starting to count.
Communist
On the River
Party is
Black
getting
Creek, we've been
votes.
hearing from folks out there. Paul Nguyen has a lead of 69 votes right now over Tom Rakosevich. He was the incumbent NPP in that riding.
Thank you for that, Eric. As
Sure.
we look at some of these early results,
Tell me when you're
we
ready. And
see a direction anyway with what we're looking at on the board at the bottom of that screen.
For the PCs right now, again, these
wow,
early results
what
are
I'm
caution
really
that at this
seeing
moment,
is
Dwight, it's a pretty good lead for the PCs. They're
in a lot of
actually
ridings,
up
not
on
all,
one
like
seat,
here on
compared to what
Bruce,
they were
PC
at
leading
in
by
the
a
last
bunch.
election. And I'm
But if
looking
you
at
were to
that
combine
list that I
Liberal
mentioned of the
and
target ridings,
NDP,
places where
they
the
would
PCs were the most vulnerable.
they would take a
And
lot more seats
I'm
from the
not
PC.
seeing anybody
This is the
moving
problem
up
for the
in
left.
in those seats
The
yet.
left
So
has
I'm
three
looking at
parties.
Scarborough ridings. I'm looking
The
at
right has
Ajax
one
in
major
particular.
party,
And again, if the PCs
and
can
they
hold on to
are
those ridings, they're on their way towards a majority.
they take
So actually, we're
advantage of
looking
that.
at
Are
big
you ready?
picture here. We're looking just at a trend as we're heading in a direction. What do you see?
Ready?
We're seeing those numbers go up on the blue side, right? I feel
Just
like
jumped again, yeah.
I'm looking at three things. I'm looking number one at that blue spot, the blue number. I want to see how big it's going to get. So we expect a majority given the polls. What is the size of that majority? I don't want to predetermine what they're going to say, but certainly that's where I've got my eye there. I'm looking at the NDP to see where they are versus the last election, because that will certainly be determinative in whether or not Andrea Horvath is able to stay on or even wants to stay on. She's certainly opened the door to doing
That's
that.
true.
And it's going to be hard.
If the NDP do really bad,
what the kind of numbers that they had in the last
yeah, I should take it
Finally,
before I
in
eat.
the Liberal column, that red spot, I'm looking to see if Stephen Del Duca can win his
And like
seat.
literally, you can
That will
cook
be extremely
your
determinative
pizza, and then
what the
I'll
party
eat.
does,
Like
what his
I don't
leadership
want
looks
to
like.
eat really
Big
hot
storylines
food.
with two of the party leaders tonight, most definitely. Eric is back at the max. Since the map, the last time we spoke to you, Eric.
Yeah, so just give me 10 ml. I'm gonna do that from now on, because I think there's about 2 mils in the syringe tip.
Or the vote share for each of the parties so
So
far.
I think that'll leave me with
Again, this is going to change
something
as the match
better.
goes on. But right now, the PCs are at 41%.
Wow, the PCs are getting
So that is better than
37%.
2018. Again, it depends on where these
That's a
numbers are coming in,
better
but it is a
than
good
they
start
did last
for the
time.
PCs. You can
They
see
got
the Liberals
about
are at 24%.
35,
They have
I think,
decreased from
last
the
time.
20% they had in the last election. The NDP is down to 22%. Again, still lots to come in, but you can already see that the NDP with fewer votes, right now they're leading in more seats. Now let's look at the seat change in the ridings that have already reported. Again, the ones that haven't reported yet.
Yeah, this is
we're not
important.
saying
See,
whether those are going in
seat
one direction or
changes.
not,
This
but
is
of the
where
seats
you
that have
can
reported,
get
the
a.
PCs are already off to the races with a gain of 2.
Wow, the
Looking at
NDP
forward
is
to the
down
Liberals,
big time,
13 seats,
even
we
though
still
they
have the
are
majority
second
government.
right
So far,
now.
they're up 2.
The
Also
PC
left,
is
the Liberals
picking
are
up
3 seats,
ground,
but,
and
as
the
a potential
Liberals are
candidate,
picking
they
up
have a
ground.
party that seems to be losing
Now, the
so far
Liberals
tonight,
did
down 5
really
seats in the
terrible
ones that have reported
4
so far,
years
so
ago,
watch more
so
of
it's
that.
Eric,
not a
it's still
surprise that they're picking up some
but
ground.
every time I talk to you or Eric or Vashi, those numbers for the PCs just keep going up and big for 34 to 39 and big jumps to what are we seeing? Is this a sign of where we're going this evening? Now up to I can't even talk.
They're pretty close to that majority already.
Yes.
What we're looking for, Dwight, is the trend
one, yeah.
and the trends in those key target ridings. Look, I was talking to Liberals today. They were telling me about how confident they were about winning in places like Ajax, winning in places like Scarborough Rouge Park, and so far the Liberals are trailing in those seats, unable to pry them away from the PCs.
Thank you for that. We're hearing that. We want to look at part of the bigger question and part of the things we're doing tonight is looking at that majority, Eric. We keep talking about the possibility of them heading towards a majority. How easy, how difficult can the other parties be in their way? Can they stop them? when we look at the numbers we're looking
Yeah,
at
so
right
they need
now,
16
stop.
more seats to win the
They're off to a
majority.
good start, that's for sure. They're off to a good start.
And the
So let's see
majority just
how close
means
they are
that
to getting that majority government.
they get
Now,
to vote
what you'll
on
see is that they're
everything
leading or elected in
they try and
47
pass,
ridings
and
right
because
now.
they
Still
have
lots to report.
the
There's 51
majority
to
of the
report. Of
votes,
the 51 that
pretty
have
much
yet to
everything
report,
they
the
propose
PCs are the incumbent. They
will
won them last
pass.
time in 31 of those ridings. So that means that if all of those ridings that have yet to report go to the PCs, that they should be over the
What's
majority
interesting,
mark,
guys, is
by
I
about
noticed
15, if my
that
eyesight is correct. So
there are less
that is good for the
people
PCs. It means they
who
have a lot of
vote
wiggle room
in
right now.
the
So of the
provincial
ridings that have yet to
elections than
report,
they do federal.
a chunk
But
of
I
the
really
31
find that
went to the
certain
PCs in
things like
2018. We're expecting that a lot of
healthcare
those are going to stick
and
with the party. So it does suggest
you
that
know,
the PCs are on
roads
track to that
and
majority, but still 51 ridings
things
to
like
report. We'll
that,
wait to
they
see.
really
Your
affect
eyesight and
the
your magic
day-to-day
work, and
life
you're going to become
of
busy now because we're going to keep checking
voters
you
more
as we
than
go
some
through
of
these
the
results. Let's
federal
find out
things.
how
So
they are
I
feeling
would
up
be,
at PC headquarters
if I
right
was
now.
ever to
Let's
skip
talk to
a
Lisa Zhang
vote,
as these numbers come in. Lisa, they are in a
I would
big
vote.
lead right now. Still
I would
early,
vote
but
provincial
looking at this
before
trend, it is a good trend for them at
federal.
this point.
What you looking for?
Yes, this is really good for the
Yeah,
PCs
plate's
so
good.
far. Dwight, you can't
But
really
I probably
see,
only
but they've
want
got
like
the crowd kind of cordoned off
no,
to
not
the
even
side.
a
Okay, we're
quarter,
gonna pan over.
and then cut into
There is
small
actually
pieces.
a pretty big crowd that's gathered. They've
There is
got
a pizza
drinks. I'm
cutter.
hearing a lot of
It works
cheering
better
as
on a
well, you know, for these results.
flat
Every
surface
few
for
minutes,
sure.
a lot of big whoops
I
and
can't find
cheers
my
in the
scissors. Can
crowd.
you
So
take a look
this is a
for my
group that's
scissors at
feeling
some
really
point?
good
Yeah.
about the results that they're seeing
I can't find them.
tonight.
Red
Right
handle?
now, they're feeling really encouraged.
Yeah.
And I think this speaks to the strategy behind
I don't know. I had someone
this
look today.
campaign so far.
We couldn't
Right?
find it.
It is one that has
Is
been
it back
very
there? That
focused on
makes
getting out that message.
some
That,
sense.
Biden
Aha!
is
Thank
getting
you.
it done, that he's
Can you put it on the
pushing hard,
magnetic?
he's building
Yeah, or
infrastructure
here. Here is good
sideways
too.
as well.
If we put it in the kitchen, the magnetic strip is a good spot
and I
too.
think they are waiting for something a little more definitive to come. Right.
Thank you for that, Lisa, up in PC headquarters. I mean, Vashi, they have to be happy. You've been talking to the operative, the strategist behind the scenes on this campaign.
If you're watching this live or after the fact, and you do like the video, you don't think it sucks as much as it actually does, do hit the like button. I'd love for you guys to subscribe to my channel. I do a bit of politics and social stuff, disability stuff, of course, you know, it's close to home. And hit that notification bell so you get notified when I do go live or post a video. And I'm just getting over a suspension on YouTube. I got suspended on YouTube because I didn't criticize a movie enough.
The Liberals were hoping
Yeah, ridiculous.
They can't be at all happy with these numbers. Again, the Liberals were telling me about certain seats that they were feeling pretty confident about, and I'm not seeing many check marks beside those seats. Look, I think a key thing here regarding
I don't think the Liberals or the NDP can really be happy with this.
Where they needed to be, and they were super confident over the last few days. Right, I was talking to PC strategists who were telling me they were 90.
Cambridge, I lived in Cambridge for a long time. Cambridge has been pretty blue for a while now. Very working class.
I was even hearing from some,
but blue.
The number of seats that they could end up winning could be as high as 90. So it was sounding a little.
Not sure where Davenport is. That's probably Toronto, Don Valley East. Look at that, Don Valley East could go conservative.
What do you think?
Wow. Don Valley North. Actually, North, North the city. That makes sense. We're going conservative here.
We have
Don Valley West.
Numbers, and the
wow.
CBC News decision desk is ready to make a call.
Okay, they're making a call already. We're 20 minutes in.
News desk election.
They're calling a progressive conservative majority.
Majority government for Doug Ford and the progressive.
Interesting.
You can see it there.
That's pretty early to call a majority, but we got 36 more seats to come. They only need 6 more of those 36. I mean, right now they're winning more than half the seats. If they just win 1 out of 6 seats forthcoming, they have the majority, and
running on some of these
looks
votes,
like we got 4 more years of
majority is projected.
conservative
This is
leadership
it's a vindication
in
that they
Ontario.
it's a vindication of their
I'm going to be
strategy.
honest.
It's
I'm
a
not
vindication of Doug Ford's leadership.
terribly
The people of
disappointed.
Ontario have taken a look at
I
Doug
would
Ford.
have
Had a
liked
good
to.
chance get to know him over the course of these
I would have liked to
last
see
4
the
years, and
conservatives.
the voters of Ontario are giving
You
him
know,
a
they
thumbs
are
up.
conservative, but I would have liked to
It is
see
early
them
in the
promise
evening.
to increase
This happened last time
ODSP.
out when they had an early victory.
I
Vashi, is
think
this,
the problem with
this is a question
overspending
for you.
is not the fact
Eric Grenier, you're going to tell us how they
of
work.
what people
All right,
receive,
absolutely. Vashi, yeah.
but it's too many people
Well, we're seeing
receive
these are gaining
ODSP.
seats, and
There's
they're
too
doing
much
well
fraud.
on the
There's
vote
too
share so far.
much
So let's start with the vote share
BS.
for
Same thing
today.
with the
How that
welfare
compares
programs.
to 2018.
I agree with
So
welfare
doing quite well.
programs.
Not as
Wow,
well
look at
as
Humber
in
River.
2018
All of
at
them
40.5% of the
with
vote. They're now
between
at
960
39.6%, but you can see
and
it's above that
916.
minimum threshold.
Interesting.
Bob Ray had 37.6%.
But getting back to what I was saying about the
The
conservatives,
NDP is actually in second right now in the vote share. Still lots of ridings still to report. They're at 24.5%. That's still a big.
come on, are you sure it's not done?
Election when they had 34%, and the Liberals right now.
Like,
are at
what
24,
temperature is it?
The Greens are at 7, but for the PCs,
Wow.
nearing that 40% mark, that's where they needed to be to get a majority government. They could afford to lose 13 seats. Well, that's not what's
It's
happening.
smelling pretty
By
good.
gaining seats, if we look at where they stand
And
right
if the
now,
crust
they
is
have
too
picked up
crunchy,
3 seats so far.
I'm not going
based
to be
on
able
what
to
has
eat
been
it.
reporting. So we know that.
So I think, unless you think it's really not done, I think we should take it out.
So far, the Liberals have picked up a couple, and we have one independent on the board. We'll have to take a look at what that is. But right now, we're seeing that the PCs in majority territory, and that means that we're able to project a majority.
Nah, I don't have good vision.
Thank you for that, Eric. Doug Ford has done it again. We've been listening to these commercials.
Yeah, I think it'll be okay.
Right through this campaign.
I think if it's not quite hot on top enough when I go to eat it, I can put it on like, does it feel hot?
Definitely got it
Okay.
done, Dwight.
Then I
There's
think
a
it's
lot
good.
of excitement in the room. The crowd erupted in cheers. So this crowd is happy with the result tonight.
Of course they're happy.
I'm joined by
They're
Michael
winning.
Diamond, a PC campaign strategist. Michael, I saw you kind of heave a sigh of relief.
Hey, as long as it's not Nick
How are you
Kuvelis.
feeling?
Look, I'm not
Am I
terribly
right?
surprised, but I think this is
Uh-oh.
really just a testament
You
to
know
the
what?
work that the premier and the government
Nick
have done over
Kuvelis
the
is a
last,
jerk,
4
but
years, especially during the
I used to
pandemic,
work
and,
for
that we're
him.
really connected with voters.
Essentially, I don't know if I should say this.
I'm thrilled.
I used to work for Nick Kuvelis, but more directly, he owned the company, but I worked directly under his wife, and she was a sweetheart. She understood I had a disability, and she was one of the most accommodating employers. No, she was the most accommodating employer I ever had. So the conservatives get a lot of trash for not being disability friendly, but quite honestly, I don't have too many complaints. I don't. I really don't. I'd like to see them raise ODSP. I'd like to see, and this is really where the conservatives, I think, are they're hurting themselves. The conservatives understand business better than any other party, and I think they could.
Thank you for that, Lisa. And even though the CBC News Decision Desk has made,
I think they could, create incentives for both people with disabilities and businesses to hire people with disabilities. People that hire people with disabilities, they understand that outside of the fact that sometimes people with disabilities have to miss work for health reasons, they actually miss work less than the average worker. Like, they call in sick less than the average worker. People own Tim Hortons or McDonald's or some other franchise. The smart ones hire, quite frankly, people with Down syndrome. 2 reasons why. They work hard And if you give them a task suited to their capabilities, um, they do well. And then, furthermore, maybe this is politically incorrect thing to say, but it's hard to complain about your job when a mentally disabled person right beside you is doing the exact same job and they're thrilled to death to be there. They're so grateful to have the job, to have the opportunity. And I think that grateful attitude, if other employees had that, they'd just choose to be happier at your job. And then your boss will be happier, and then you might get a raise. I'll tell you, I've never given a raise. I employ people. I've never given a raise to someone I thought was a sourpuss. I usually get rid of them. I don't suffer through bad employees. So if you're an employee of mine and you've been with me more than 3 months, it means I like the work you're doing. Because if I didn't, I would just shit can you. All right, let's see what they're saying. Okay, so yeah, we now see the PCs leading in 67 seats, which is enough for a majority. Now some of these still could change, and we still have 21 seats to come. So we could easily see the Conservatives at 80 seats.
That made sense. And on top of that, they just, they didn't do anything to rock the boat. Again, they're talking about investments, they talk about large infrastructure projects, the stuff that the unions like. So he built a bit of a coalition, like an interesting coalition for a PC government to do, especially as an incumbent, and do it well.
So much of that, Sabrina, I think has to do with the Doug Ford brand itself. It hasn't always been an unvarnished brand. And I think that's what makes this moment right now so compelling, because if you think back over the past 4 years, you can think of even days
and honestly, Doug Ford handled the pandemic, I think, as well as any other politician in Canada. Our economy is not terrible. I mean, gas prices are too high, but that's a national program.
Why do you think that is?
Or problem, I should say. I've called on Justin Trudeau to temporarily scratch the carbon tax for gasoline, because I think for now it's the right thing to do. The environment's important, no doubt, but people not losing their homes is also important. Okay, look at that. Captain Price has a big lead in Waterloo. So Andrew Aitken will not take Waterloo for the Conservatives. It will stay in the hands of the NDP, but the NDP are losing seats. They cannot be happy. And I really believe Andrea Horwath will be called to the carpet. She may even resign, not as an MPP. She's going to win her seat. She'll still make, $140,000 a year as her MP, and, she's still working towards padding that pension, but
interested to see Eric zoom in on that one here shortly.
I think she might step down as party
kind of an interesting beast.
Leader.
The numbers are hitting right now. I think I saw, 23, 24%.
Man, look at some of the leads, like in GTA, like
the high 20s.
These are huge leads for the Conservatives in the GTA.
Wasn't very charismatic, wasn't a strong leader, but also the campaign was kind of weak. It was slow. There was nothing really interesting. They came out of the gate strong, but then that was it, and there was no repetition. You didn't hear about them over the course of the
I
campaign.
thought all the campaigns were boring, and I think that's
Yeah, you think
pretty
so. But
indicative
right
of
now,
what
the
we got
running
going
tale
on.
of two different
I don't
leadership
think the
stories, one where
PCs had to fight
others
too
are
hard
happy, obviously
to
only
win
talking about
again.
now, and then two other
I
leaders who
think
are
both the
giving some
Liberals and
reflection on their own
NDP
leadership.
ran
Reading that line, 'cause
uninspired
coming up next, we're gonna see how Doug
campaigns,
Ford
and
did in his riding in
it
Etobicoke
is
tonight.
showing.
And the CBC decision desk
Yeah.
is electing Doug Ford. He is up by
Yeah,
a
Ford's going to
large
win
number of
big
votes, a little
time.
over 2,000
I mean,
votes there.
he's
No
north of
surprise
the
that is.
northern
Ford
GTA.
candidate expected to win in Etobicoke North.
Andrew
Also
Horvath
out in
is winning
Hamilton Center. Andrea
in
Horvath
her. Yeah,
expected
NDP
to win
is
her seat. She's leading right
strong
now
in
by
the
1,323
Hamilton Rust
votes.
Belt, of
Let's head out
course,
to Hamilton and talk to Lorena
which
Redicott
doesn't
to
make
see
any
how
sense
they're
because
feeling out there at the
I feel
HQ
like the
in
NDP
Hamilton. And the
has,
question is, even though the
well,
leader
they've
is
abandoned the
winning,
working
Lorenda, the
class.
party's fortunes
They're
are
now
not
kind
as
of
strong
woke,
as
and
last time out, and they
if
need
that's
to
what
shore up
you
seats
think
tonight, not
is
shed them.
a good thing,
That's for sure, Dwight. And
more power
certainly
to
people
you.
will be
But I
happy
don't
that she's
think
won her seat.
I
That
don't think
really
that
was
strategy
expected. That wasn't a
helped them.
question here tonight at all. But
You know,
one
they
thing
called
they
the
will be
truckers
happy with is
racist.
that they
A
are
lot
leaning
of
liberals. Now, I want to tell you,
blue
just a little
collar
piece of
workers,
color.
dudes,
I don't know
who make
exactly how Andrea
$36,000
Horvath is feeling, but I got a
a
text
year,
from the
are
NDP. I just tweeted it.
NDP,
Turns out
and
we're
now they're
matching,
PC.
except opposite colors. So, and she
Oh
had
yeah,
a
bite
picture. She
size.
was laughing.
Yeah, just so
Her
you can
with the
pick
pink
up
on
a
the
piece
outside and the
and
dark
pop it
colors
in my
on the
mouth.
inside. So whatever
I'm not really
happens,
good
she
at
certainly
biting it.
does seem to be keeping her sense of humor. Now, I'm joined now by the president of the Ontario NDP, Janelle Brady. How are you feeling about what you're seeing with the results so far?
She's gonna lie.
Well, I feel like I have
I
mixed
feel.
emotions for sure, no doubt. Another 4 years of a Ford government is very difficult for folks. I've knocked on lots of doors across the province, and I know that people really wanted change. They wanted to be able to
No, they
access
didn't,
mental
you
health care
liar.
with their OHIP card. They
They
wanted to be able
didn't
to
want
access
change.
pharmacare, to get
That's
prescription
obvious.
drugs when they need it, to be able to really go to
Maybe,
the dentist. These are things that families in Ontario need and deserve, and that the NDP is fighting for. But I do remain very hopeful
well,
in knowing that our leader of the Ontario NDP has brought us so far
you
and run the best
deserve.
campaign
I
we've had
mean,
in such a long time.
deserve is
And
such
we're
an
going to hold Doug
overused
Ford and the
term in
Conservative
today's
government to
society.
account
Everyone
in the
thinks
legislature, just
they're
as we have in
deserved,
the past 4 years
entitled
as well.
to
What is it that
everything.
went wrong, though, that you couldn't
It's
form
kind of
government?
sickening. And I mean,
Really,
I think it's
folks
another
need to
reason why
believe
the
that their voice
NDP
matters.
is doing
A
so
lot of people
poorly.
are quite tired. I
It's
knock
an
on doors, and
entitlement party,
they're quite tired of
and
the back and forth of the liberals and
the
the conservatives. But
PCs
really,
are
I think what this
work for
election
it
results so
party.
far, because it's not all
And
done
don't get
yet,
me wrong,
has
there are
shown us
warts
is that
in
people
the
voted for
party,
hope.
but
They voted for change, and you could see it with the Liberal Party.
yeah.
Really, we are the official opposition, and the
One sec.
Liberal Party, they're losing votes on the right
Guys, I'm
for
gonna
folks that
sort
are
of
supporting the Conservatives. They're losing
tune out
votes
for a
on
bit
the
and eat
left
my.
who are supporting us and
No,
seeing us
actually,
as a
guys, you know
viable
what?
choice. And the NDP is
We know what's gonna
absolutely here
happen.
to
Nothing
stay.
crazy
And each
is
time
gonna
we've built,
happen.
we've
The
grown. Our
Conservatives
caucus is
have the
bigger than
majority
ever. We have
government.
more diversity. We've reached out
Um,
to more folks than we ever have. And each
the
election will
NDP are
continue
gonna
to grow.
be
And we're going to be a viable choice for
the
free marriage
toothless
in Ontario.
All right, thanks so much, Janelle.
official
That's the president of
opposition.
the Ontario NDP.
I think that's it, guys. There's not much else left to say. Conservatives win. I think the next 4 years are going to be a lot like the last 4 years, but without the pandemic. And while it's not perfect, it ain't terrible. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and peace out.